Well, shut up. Okay. I need to do a little intro for episode 39, because I feel like I have some explaining to do. What? Will you stop chewing on yourself for a minute so Daddy can talk? Yeah, I have some explaining to do on this one. Not really explaining, but I feel like I should explain. This episode, I know we usually use 2 cameras. Only use the one. We had both cameras running. But I only used the one when editing, because... Well, I'll get to that. I only used the one camera. I didn't cut very much. This is a very crudely cut episode, a very, very sloppy episode. The episode was kind of a disaster from the start. I did it like that for a reason, though. I didn't work my usual magic on this one because because of the nature of the episode, because of the content in the episode, because of the fight. I wanted you to see it all go down like it did, without any cuts, without any manipulation. The only cuts there are in there are when I cut out the dead space in between, when Jared's looking something up, or I'm getting up to check something on the computer, or at one point Walter goes crazy because my girlfriend comes home and we gotta stop. Like, the only time you're not seeing anything is when nothing's happening. So I felt like I needed to explain all that. With that said, I don't know if we're gonna do more Jay and Marks. If we do, I guess that would be up to Jared. If we do, I'm certainly not going to put as much effort into it as I have been. I'll still put effort into it, but I'm not going to put in as much. I don't feel the need when, I'm the only one putting in the work, so I'll just make it whatever the hell Jared wants it to be. And I'll put the effort forth towards something that wants it and deserves it. Maybe there's somebody else out there that I'll do a show with that gives as many shits as I do. All I want to do is put out good stuff. That's all I'm trying to do. And I've done plenty of research and trial and error, and I've done enough to know that there's ways of doing things that just make it all around better. And that's all I'm trying to do. But without further ado, here's episode 39. Can you guys shut up? I'm trying to talk here.
Red leather, yellow leather.
What?
And now we go to Ollie for the weather. It's fucking raining!
A lot of people make life a lot harder than it needs to be.
Agreed.
And I feel like when you do things yourself, it's way less complicated because you don't have to deal with any other factor. You do it your way. You understand it because it's you doing it the best way you know. You know what I mean? Know how.
Yep.
Using your method. And then when there's other factors involved, like other people involved, it just fucks that all up because they question it.
And then make you second guess yourself.
It just makes it not necessarily second guess myself. It's just frustrating. It's like when you have a new person at work and you're training them, and they're always like, "Well, why you do it like this?" I used to do it like this. Like, you know what I mean? That's irritating. That's frustrating, right? Like, because this is the way we do it. We've done it this way this whole time. Obviously there's been experiences that led us to doing it this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I understand if you want to tweak it a little bit so that it's a little, work your way into it a little bit, make it easier for you. I understand, but like, I forget where I was going with all that, but my point being is that
sometimes it's just easier to do it yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, it's just...
Do what yourself?
A lot of things. I started out talking about, like, life in general. Like,
you want to do life yourself?
No. Like, when other people are involved in your life, it makes it more complicated. If it's just you on your own, you know what I mean? Doing things yourself, you don't have that support, you know what I mean? Or like, you're lacking a lot, but it's
right.
less complicated.
But you just said it yourself. But you don't have that support either. So
no. There's definitely it's like pros and cons. These are the pros and cons of having people around you and relationships and life and shit, like. But like, you need these people, you know what I mean, in order to get by. Like, you can't do everything. If you have ambitions or drive, you need the help. You know what I mean? What's the problem?
You said you have ambition and drive, and it reminded me of that Kanye West song.
I don't know.
This week
much.
It's what was it? This week how does he say it? I don't know. It's Gold Digger. The song Gold Digger by Kanye West.
All right, I don't know the lyrics to that shit. So
something
I don't know
about
what you're talking about.
Something about she's got ambition, or he's got ambition, or somebody's got some ambition. This week it's this week it's flipping burgers. Next week it's the fries or something. I don't know. I don't like Kanye West, but I did like that song. I thought it was funny.
What's your point there, though?
Because you said ambition.
Oh, because of what I said. That's why you laughed. I got it.
Yeah.
I forget what I was saying.
It's easier to do things on your own.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it's less enjoyable.
You're kind of bringing this whole thing down right now.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. My bad.
No, I'm sad.
My bad. Well, on that note, this is Jane Mark number 39. I'm sorry. That's kind of if you're still here at this point. I guess where I was going with that is, I guess I wasn't really going anywhere with that. That's just where I was in my head right then when we decided to start. I didn't mean to be so grim, and I don't really want to be by myself in the world. You know what I mean?
Right. Nobody wants to
I'm
be by
not
themselves.
talking about anyone specific. It's just like the basic concept of relationships and life. Relationships complicate life in a lot of ways, but like they also enrich life in a lot of ways too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's all I was really saying. But welcome to Jane Mark number 39. Let's change the fucking subject.
Someone didn't take his happy pills today.
I need you to look something up because I want you to see this.
Okay.
This is cool and terrifying at the same time. Go to YouTube for me. You people can as well if you'd like to. What do you mean, you people? I didn't mean anything by that. The viewers is what I meant. Type in tallest glass bottom pool, Houston, Texas.
Tallest glass bottom pool. Houston, Houst.
Houston,
We
we have a problem.
Oh, speaking of Houston, we have a problem. I'm going to jump on a Mandela effect real quick.
Just save that for later because I already have something for that. So let's stick to one topic at a time, please.
Fuck that.
Okay, just click that one right there and let's watch. You guys can watch it as well. It was the second one in the list that came up. If you typed in exactly what I said.
Nope.
Yeah. Downtown Houston features a glass bottom pool in an apartment building, is what this is, hanging 42 floors above the city. The Sky Cantilever Pool at Houston's Market Square Tower is where it is at. It's being billed as the tallest pool in Texas. Now, yeah, turn that shit down. If you're watching, it's quite terrifying. I don't know why. Like, I guess this is a selling point for the.
Not for me.
I mean, but for the hotel, I would guess that's why they would do something like this.
Right.
It's something unique about them. But Jesus,
Yeah, that is a huge nope for me.
it's an apartment building. Damn, and it's $18,715 for a penthouse. Fucking A. But dude, I mean, I'm not too scared of heights, but super high heights, of course, is terrifying.
You'd have to be super high
But
to do that.
oh, because for the people listening to the audio and haven't seen the video, this guy, the video starts out as him walking out from what looks just like the normal bottom of a pool, and then you're just walking out into thin air, essentially.
Yeah, no, screw that.
And you're seeing the city below you. I mean, how many things could go wrong there, dude? Like that.
Well, I
wouldn't go to that side of the pool.
I could think of one.
And if that's even if you weren't on that side of the pool and that all went down and all that water started going down, it would all suck you down with it.
Yep.
Unless you're holding on to something.
Yep, and you're gone.
No thanks.
No, absolutely not.
No thanks. On top of many other issues. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. I wanted to show you that.
Yeah, no, that's... Why? What? I mean, like you said, maybe it's a selling point, but I can't think of too many people that would be into that. Of course, I don't know a lot of people.
I don't know. There's daredevils and people that like live on the edge and shit. Walter, shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wouldn't go within 20 feet of that. Just
Yeah.
because, like
I
you
mean,
said, if that glass broke and all that water started to shoot out of there, if you're in it, you could be on the other side. And like you said, if you're not holding on to something, you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just being on top of a tall building and being too close to the edge kind of gives me vertigo. You know what I mean? Like makes me woozy and like bridges and stuff. When you're anywhere, anytime I'm too close, even watching it on TV, when I see somebody like standing on the edge, I get that feeling in my stomach, like, oh shit, that anxiety of it. And no thanks. Like in a pool of water, dude, you're even in less control of your surroundings. So yeah.
Nope, I would never do that. I would never, ever, ever.
No thanks. Something I read recently. Actually, I can't say that I read. Well, I have read about it before, but it was recently brought up to me again in a video I watched. Memories. The more you think about them and remember them, you know what I mean? The more your mind changes them to the point where it's almost not how it even happened at all in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say something else, but it completely slipped my mind. But maybe I tried to remember it too much. But yeah, so essentially you don't remember it at all. And because the more you remember it, the more it changes.
Well,
so it didn't even happen that way at all. So really, you have no recollection of what really happened.
yes and no, because your brain, if you can remember bits and pieces of things, your brain will fill in the rest and create an entire situation. If there's things that you don't remember, like in the middle of something, like perhaps somebody's wedding and who was there, and all of a sudden they're not, your brain's going to fill in, those little pieces.
Yeah, they're going to fill it. They're going to fill in the blanks.
So,
like other memories and stuff, because really, you could probably. It's hard to just think up random shit like that.
Right, and that's why some people can remember something one way. Well, like if two people experience the exact same thing, this person's not going to remember it the exact same way this person does.
Yeah.
If they're trying to...
So especially if two people are sitting there trying to put a story together, it's getting even more crazy because you have like almost two influences.
Right,
in there.
and just like if I were to... say, for example, we were sitting here and we were talking about something that happened 10 years ago, and I said, well, do you remember blah, 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 and you don't, but something in what I said might have sparked something in your brain, and your brain is immediately going to start trying to build around that. Well, and then you might be like, well, yeah, I think I kind of remember that.
And then it kind of brings pieces back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if that's even the case, because for all we know, what you remembered there is something that your brain created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who really knows at that point?
Well, the only thing you could do is refer to videos, pictures, and...
Yeah, but I mean, they have to have like...
I wonder if Mom's gonna watch this.
Good shit behind it. That's kind of where I was gonna lead that into, but I had a little more to say there. I thought I did. Because recently, oddly enough, I couldn't even tell you what it was, but I remembered something that I was like, and I think I even brought it up in a podcast previous. I remembered something that I was like, fuck, man, how could I forget that? That seems like a really like poignant and profound moment in my life. Like, maybe it wasn't at the time for me, but like looking back at it, I'm like, it was, like that probably shaped my point of view in some way or another. And maybe it did. And I just thought about it so much that I kind of just made myself forget about it. You know what I mean? Because like I recollected it so much that it wasn't even what it was anymore, and it kind of lost its meaning. You know?
No, I see what you're saying.
And then, but like you're saying, there's things that make it. There's pieces,
right?
Like little portions of it that pop in there, and then it kind of fills in a little blank for you, and then it comes back. Maybe that's what happened when I recollected it. It was like, wow, that was kind of a profound moment, But was it? Or am I remembering my misrepresentation of it?
I don't know. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Will we ever know? Like, that's insane. Which leads me...
Wow, that's kind of deep. To think about.
Right?
Like, are your memories really your memories?
Yeah.
Or is it just something that you made up?
That's
Like, I remember hearing somebody tell me one time that a certain person that we both know, and I'm not going to mention any names because I don't want to embarrass her or him.
Scott. No, I'm just kidding. It's not Scott.
But I don't want to embarrass her or him. But people that tell stories of things that happened,
Go ahead. I just noticed that we're kind of off cue, so I'm going to fix this. But keep going.
People that tell stories of things that happened, in the past, and the other people that were there, like, that's not what happened at all. Or people that will tell a story so much that's not even true, to the point that they actually believe it themselves, and they can build an entire story around it. And then everyone that kind of lived that is going, that never happened.
Mm.
That whole scenario didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not going to mention any names, but the memory is a very strange thing.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I kind of have something that goes along those lines. And you actually already know what I'm talking about, but because I actually it happened earlier today.
Yeah.
And I texted you about it.
Right.
Because I went to cash my check this morning.
Right.
And my mom, or our mom, took me to do it because I don't drive. And she, for some reason, we got on the topic of, I was talking about Scott and how he's one of our main supporters on, for the podcast and stuff. Like he's the first person to like everything, and I appreciate that, Scott.
Right.
But and she talked about how she said she hasn't seen Scott since back in Garden Grove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, that's not true. Scott's been out here many times. And I think he's even been at your house. She's like, no, he's never been at my house. I was like, all right, maybe he's never been to your house. But he's come out with Dad to Ohio and been at, like, people's houses that you've been at the same time.
Right.
She's like, no, he hasn't. I haven't seen him since. I was like, yes, he has. And Mom swore up and down that she hasn't seen Scott since way back when I know for a fact she has.
Right.
He was at your wedding.
Right.
Was he at Carrie's wedding? I can't remember.
I don't remember if he was at Carrie's.
He came out for Christmas a couple times with Dad, I think, and one of which, one I remember specifically, is when Carrie lived in Burton with her ex-husband, and we had Christmas up there. He was up there with Dad. I remember that. I was younger. I was probably in like my early teens, and you guys were much older. Like, obviously, Carrie's up there. She had, like, Rachel and Hannah, I think, at the time. She might not have had Christy by then. But
at Christmas.
Yeah, it was Christmas time when she lived up in Burton, up near Sandusky.
Now, I will say that could have been the same time that he was here for the wedding, because we had gotten married in December.
You're right, that could be.
So it could have only been the one time, because the only time I can think of that he's ever been out here was he offered to come out and do all the pictures for the wedding.
And he did. Not only that, but
I do know that there's actually...
Mom's like, she did not... Because I told her all these things.
Right.
That's why I text you. She's like, I want proof. I you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I said, there's a video of Jared and Amy's wedding.
Right.
And he's in it. He's taking pictures. Like, he's there. So was Dad. Like, you were there.
Right. I don't have any of our wedding photos anymore.
But
I don't
has
even
the video.
I don't know
I'm
if
pretty sure.
I don't know if my ex-wife still has the pictures or not, but I do know that there were pictures with Scott.
Yeah, I know. Scott was there for sure.
In that whole thing of photos that he gave me.
And him and Dad were at the...
But the
at
Christmas
the reception
you're
and
remembering, I will say I don't actually remember Scott being there at Christmas, but he very well could have, because it was December 17th. And then, I mean, you're only talking about another week before Christmas, and I would imagine, I mean, because, Dad was here, but I would imagine he would have stayed for that week, because Dad's real big on trying to be with the kids for Christmas.
There's no doubt that it was happening. You know what I mean? Like, Mom is the one who swears up and down that she hasn't seen Scott since back then, when you guys were kids and shit, and I was just a baby. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's absolutely insane. Like, is Mom losing her mind? Like, is Mom, have a mental illness, or, you know what I mean? Like, it scared me for a second, and then I text you. She said, I want proof. I text you, and that exchange happened, and he was like, no, you confirmed it for me. Just blew my mind.
Maybe it's
and
just
then,
that she
then
doesn't
you brought
remember
up,
because maybe he just wasn't around enough, and there was so much going on.
well, yeah, it was one of our family events, especially with Carrie and the girls and stuff. Like, it was always a fucking smorgasbord of
Right.
craziness. Like,
But that is interesting that she doesn't remember that. I mean, whatever. But it is kind of interesting that she doesn't remember him being there.
yeah,
When, had he not been, we wouldn't have had a stack of pictures this high that he,
yeah.
that
But,
he had done for us.
Which made me think about the topic we were talking just beforehand, where maybe, why did Mom forget this? And I thought maybe, I don't know why she would think about it to the point where, or maybe there was something else. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't that eventful, and she had no reason to really remember. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm sure back when she was still with Dad and living in Garden Grove, that was probably a pretty eventful time.
Right.
And so that's probably why that sticks out to her memory. But then you brought up the Mandela effect in our text exchange when I was trying to confirm to her that she had seen him multiple times.
Right.
And could this be, you know what I mean, a Mandela effect?
The possibility's there. There's all kinds of shit changing. But
Or is Mom just getting older?
no,
Mom, I forget a lot of shit. I'm getting older.
And I forget a lot of shit too, but I blame that on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
but,
me too. But Mom is, if she's listening.
Well,
Mom's getting up there in age.
Mom is getting up there in age, but Mom's still extremely sharp.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, no doubt. But I'm saying, like, is this? I don't want to say it, but like, is this the beginning? Is this is this a slip?
No, I think
or is there something? Ethereal going on here.
No, I think it's just there was so much going on during that time, and at that time, Dad never stayed with any of us. You know what I mean? He always got the hotel room at the Hilton,
mm-hmm.
and that's where he stayed, and that's where Scott would have stayed, and that's where,
Oh, I'm sure that's what happened.
So,
well, maybe not if.
He probably wasn't around enough. I'm referring to Scott. He probably wasn't around enough that Mom remember. Because I'll bet you, I don't even remember. I bet I couldn't count 10 people that were at the wedding that I remember.
Yeah, it was a small wedding. You guys were kind of broke at the moment.
Well,
and
yeah. It was a small wedding, but I'll bet you I don't remember a third of the people that were there.
I remember a few.
I remember
Matt Bailey had just
Mom,
had his kid,
Dad.
so him, Matt, and Mandy, I think, were there.
See, I even
all
forgot
the basic
about that,
family.
But I'll bet you.
But no, you're. I know. I see what you're saying, but so you don't think it was the Mandela effect, really?
Yeah. Well,
is what you're saying.
No, I think it could be. I'm not saying that it couldn't be.
Yeah, anything's fucking possible. Yeah.
But I think it's just there was so much going on that she probably just doesn't remember everybody that was around. So,
yeah,
that's my thought on that.
Well, there you have it.
Yep. This has been Jay and Mark.
Fun little
episode
story.
39.
Yeah, fun little story for you guys, I guess, and a little bit of speculation about whether or not there was some.
I hope it doesn't hurt Scott's feelings that
mysterious work of
that Mom doesn't remember him being there. But
yeah, no offense, Scott.
But
thanks for the support, though.
I remember him being there. So anyway, so speaking of Mandela effect, you made me think of another one because you said, "Houston, we have a problem," from the famous Apollo 13 movie.
Yes.
Well, and Mission. There was a Mandela effect where involving that exact line where originally Tom Hanks in the movie said, "Houston, we have a problem." Well, there was video discovered where it was, "Houston, we've had a problem." They've actually shown video of it. The
What?
guy that I like to... No, I'm serious. The guy that I like to watch, Jacob Israel, who talks about Mandela Effect a lot,
Yeah, I've watched him before.
he even did a whole video about that specific line where he showed it. He goes, "No, I remember it being, 'Houston, we have a problem.'"
Yeah.
But then he showed the video in his video of Tom Hanks saying, "Houston, we've had a problem."
well,
It's changed back.
it's changed back to Houston, we have a problem.
Yep. And now it's changed back.
What do you mean? How did it, how do they, what?
If you watch the movie,
Explain yourself.
okay, if you watch the movie prior to the Mandela Effect, Tom Hanks in the movie said, "Houston, we have a problem." But after the Mandela Effect, there's actually video out there of Tom
Of him
Hanks.
saying it differently, yes.
Right.
But
Now,
he then,
that-
but then it changed back. How did it, what do you mean it changed back is what I'm
now,
asking. You didn't
if
have
you
to
watch,
start from the beginning.
now if you watch the movie, it's "Houston, we have a problem" again, and not "we've had a problem."
Okay, so he, supposedly this footage came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
This secret footage that came out of nowhere, where he says that, but there's still other footage of him saying it the way it what like this is confusing. You're not like. So the footage that he has in his video that you saw where it said it that way,
Yes.
doesn't say it that way. It actually says it.
Not anymore.
What is that? So,
I'm gonna try and find it here.
because I'm gonna call bullshit if that's the case. Like, this is all hearsay. Well, it was, but now it isn't. Like, says who?
Hold on. He did. I'm telling you, he did this video where he said, "How do you remember it?" And it was, "Houston, we have a problem."
Yes.
And then he showed a clip from the movie of Tom Hanks saying, "Houston, we've had a problem."
So okay, so in this video you're about to show me, he does say we've had a problem. In the clip, he's claiming he says it in.
Yes.
Okay, I just asked you.
Yeah, I have to find it though. I have to find it, and this could take me a minute. So, but it's changed back again. Now, if you go back and watch the film, he says, "We have a problem."
That still doesn't make. How could that be? Because
How can a lot of this shit that's changed
if the
be?
video you watched, and we can watch it now, and it will say we've had a problem. It didn't change because it's still there. You just saw it. You know what I mean? So,
I see what you're saying.
okay.
I see what you're saying, but I have to find it.
I think
You know
I'm
what?
misunderstanding.
Actually, because it's another YouTube video, you can put that on our podcast, right? So I will find that
guess.
video, and you can insert that in right here,
I suppose, but
because I will find
maybe
that.
if it works in context. But we need to talk about this a little bit more because first off, it's very easy to change audio on a video, especially something that small of a change. Because somebody saying, like, if you took the audio away from a video and you watch somebody say have and had, it would look very fucking similar to most people. You know what I mean? So you could change the audio. There's people who can do Tom Hanks impressions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or they could just take him saying the word had previously in the movie and morph it into that. I've done it. You know what I mean? I've manipulated audio before.
Have
Not
you
like that,
have you
but
ever
I'm
been able to
saying, like,
manipulate Bible
musically,
verses?
I've turned I've made music the way I want it to be.
Right.
Have I what?
So have you ever been able to...
No, that's different. What I'm saying is this one is a little weird and fishy, and it doesn't quite make sense to me. That's why I want to see the example you're speaking of.
Is it Tidy Cat or Tidy Cats?
Tidy Cats.
Okay.
Because it's not. It's a tidy cat, actually. Walter, shush. That's not going to be good. That's what I got.
I thought we were fucking starting. And she's asking me a question.
That's okay. It gives me a chance to find this real quick because I think this is the video where he talks about it.
All right, so the video has been found,
Right.
and I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
Not only was it wrong the first time, right the first time, and then wrong the second time, but now it's back to being right again, and there's evidence that they were trying to cover up the fact that it was changed. I don't even know. See, this is, it kind of messes with you. So you start to babble, like I'm babbling right now. But Apollo 13, okay? Now, if you're not new to the Mandela effect, and if you are, check out my first video on it. There's it's the crazy Mandela effect, whatever. Go to my page, find it, and watch it, catch up. But if you're not new to it, you know the Mandela, you know that Apollo 13, and I'm talking about the movie, the famous line Tom Hanks said was, "Houston, we have a problem." Now, I know that that was the line, okay? But when I found out that it was changed, because I, of course, did a ton of research onto this, I looked it up and I showed Danielle and I said, "Honey, it's not we have a problem, we've had a problem. Houston, we've had a problem, okay?" So I looked this up. I saw this. I thought this was weird. I showed people this. I talked about this. I commented on boards about this. Imagine my surprise when it's no longer Houston, we've had a problem. It's back to Houston, we have a problem. And I'm not the only one that's kind of freaked out about this. Or I don't want to say freaked out because I'm not scared. God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but power and sound mind. This is exciting.
But you said he shows it.
He does. It's a video. Well, just he's going to show it here in just a second.
Okay.
We're starting to get onto it. We're starting to figure out that there is more and that things may not be as they seem. We may not just be able to trust what we see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. We have to trust something higher and go within and find out what that is. So we do have a problem, but now Apollo 13 is back to saying, Houston, we have a problem, which is weird. But I'm not the only one a little weirded out by it. Check this out.
It has always been thought by me and by many others that the line is, "Houston, we have a problem." That's we have a problem.
Yes.
Now, the other day of May the 28th, 2016, I was alerted to the fact that this has been changed to Houston, we've had a problem. On the 29th of May 2016, when I returned home, I got out my own copy of the movie. This is it here. This has not changed. I've had this for years. And I watched it myself, and Tom Hanks said, "Houston, we've had," Houston, we've had a problem. That's we've had a problem. This freaked me out. This freaked me out a lot because I always thought, and I always knew in my head it was Houston, we have a problem. Now about
I should have made a video. What does that mean?
Saying that this has changed back. Now last night I put this on. Again, this is the same DVD. I put this on, and in front of a witness, Tom Hanks now says again, "Houston, we have a problem." And I'm about to put this into my PlayStation and play it for everyone right now, so we can all hear it. This is the same DVD. I'm gonna keep this on camera.
So he's saying,
This is Houston. Say again, please. Houston, we have a problem. There we go.
That right there is proof that things have changed. Tidy Cats, for me, prove that
that doesn't prove anything, dude.
No, hold on.
That's
Just hold on. I'm telling you, just hold on.
okay.
There's a video that he did
No, I get it.
where he showed the clip of the other.
As soon as I saw those words at the bottom, I knew what was coming. He was showing how it changed back to what we all remember it saying. When it said I should have made a video, he was saying I should have made a video of him saying we've had a problem. Then he showed a video of it changing back to what it should be saying.
That was
he showed a video of it saying we have a problem, which is right. Or which is what everyone remembers it as. Now, that doesn't prove anything. That proves absolutely nothing. Like
just hold on, because
I don't even need to explain why.
No, you're right. You don't, because you're right. Based on that one, you're right. But he has a video where he shows the clip of it saying we've had a problem. This isn't
Jacob
loading fast
Israel
enough.
does.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's what
I just have to find it.
That's what I want to see.
I thought that was the clip, but
I gotcha.
apparently that was not the clip that I thought it was. So you can edit that out if you need to. But whatever.
That's good stuff. I mean, I'm going to cut it up a little bit, but
Oh, come on.
hello.
This is going to irritate the shit out of me because I just watched this the other day.
Maybe that's a Mandela effect.
No. It happened. Anyway, we could talk about something else while I look for this.
Well,
because I am going to find this now.
No, I don't want to have to go back to this. You know what I mean? Because not only that, but you're going to be looking for this the whole fucking time while we're trying to talk about something else. You're not even going to listen to what I'm saying. Or really be in the conversation. I feel like this shouldn't have been... Like, this should have been a little more prepared.
I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I don't come prepared to talk about this stuff.
I know, but you brought it up. You know what I mean?
You brought it up.
I didn't. We were moving on. It was like, speaking of the Mandela effect, and then you went into this.
Oh, because you said we'll go back to that. Right here. Hold on.
Problem is, people, if Houston, we've had a problem. And when people were...
Okay, so he's found...
strange
All right,
changes.
pause it when you're
Now,
ready.
for those that say that know the Mandela effect...
Okay, so he's found the video where he supposedly says, we've had a problem. I want to see this for myself so I can create my own legitimate opinion on it. So, sorry for the messiness of this one, but here we go.
Did not, it doesn't exist. Well, I did a video called Mandela Effect Smoking Gun. It was about the Apollo 13 line and tidy cats. These are two irrefutable flip-flops. One where the Apollo 13 line, which we all remember as Houston, we have a problem, was actually changed, or not changed, it existed as Houston, we've had a problem. And when people reported on this and said, no, that's not the way it was, a lot of people said, oh, it's your memory. That's why there were like tons of articles written about top movie quotes that were misquoted, like the one from BuzzFeed and about 15 others. Problem is, people, it flip-flopped back, okay? So maybe we collided into another universe and things are bleeding together. And once again, it is Houston, we have a problem. So these very reputable online magazines and magazines that are all about entertainment, either they all got it wrong, or there's proof that the lines flip-flop back and forth.
Come on, show the fucking video, because I know.
Check out that video. I'll put it at the end of the
What?
video. You can just click on it if you want.
I am telling you,
Subscribe
that
if you
fucking
haven't
clip
already.
was in there.
Thank you for taking the time. I'm sorry that I didn't.
I got you.
Okay. Now
Well,
I'm irritated.
maybe if you ever find it in the future, sir, we'll go back to this. And if anybody knows what he's talking about, feel free to send it our way. But with that said,
I'm finding this fucking video.
without a video of it, even with, in my opinion, even with a video of it, it's so easy to change something so small like that. You know what I mean? Like, in reality, like legitimately, like with effects. Like, it's so easy. So this is just a hard one for me to buy into. This really is. Like,
I'm going to find this fucking thing. I'm not going to
has
sit
no
through.
validity. This has no proof or real hard evidence. This is completely waylaid the entire podcast.
All right. I'm done with it then.
Are you irritated now?
Yes, because I know I saw that fucking video.
Well, it's unfortunate because that definitely piqued my interest, but like, I'm sorry, man. This is just this one is just too much of a stretch for me without any
All right.
hard proof, and even with it's very arguable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just like with music, with like the Queen thing. The Queen thing to me is kind of a that one's where he says of the world at the end, but in the original studio recording he doesn't say that at the end at all.
Mm-hmm.
But in the live version he does. Like that debunks it right there for me. Also, knowing music, I mean, I'm no expert in music, but I like music a lot, and I've listened to a lot of music. And the way I follow bands like Coheed and Cambria and shit like that, they do that. That's a common thing in music. There's different renditions of songs by the same art. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so stuff like that for me, I think is kind of it's just it's too easy for it to not be that. Like, especially without any proof. Like, and the guy making a video showing it change back to the right way. To me, that's kind of pointless to make that video anyway. Like, you're setting yourself up for speculation. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel your frustration. Maybe that in itself is a Mandela effect, but that's too crazy. That's like Inception.
I'm gonna.
That's a
find
Mandela
that
effect inside of a
motherfucking clip.
Mandela effect.
Well, I keep saying I'm gonna find that clip to show you, but you're just gonna call it out anyway and say what you're gonna say.
It's already so like
No, and I get
debatable. Even if that was so, even if we saw the video where he said it like that, it's incredibly easy to do that. I could do it. You know what I mean? What?
that turn off.
Oh.
I was referring to the camera.
Oh. Yeah, good. I don't know why. But I feel like it's just so. Like, I could do that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I could easily do that with the capabilities I have right now. Like how many... You've seen bad lip reading before, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a common practice. Overdubbing is a common... That's what cartoons are. You know what I mean? Like, they do it for movies.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Because the audio didn't come out right or something. You know, like... It's just... That's not... That wouldn't hold up in court at all. You know what I mean?
But how do you explain that some people remember things one way, other people remember things
No,
another way.
I don't doubt that if he
And then-
said had, I would, like if I saw the video where it was, like if somebody showed me a store-bought Blu-ray of Apollo 13 and he said had and not have, I would be like, wow, that's fucking crazy, because I would bet I would bet my life that he says have and not had. Yeah, that would fuck with me. But somebody on the internet in a YouTube video, you know what I mean? And I never saw it on a valid, official copy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There would be no validity there for me.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
All right, stop there. We'll continue on. You're still looking.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I guess. Here we go. Let me know.
All right, let's
Hopefully don't run out of time.
Let's go. I'll find it. I'll find it later.
But yeah, we should get off that, because that kind of, like I said, that kind of waylaid the entire show. But I think it was interesting. Hopefully it was interesting
I'll find it.
enough. It'll make a great fucking promo.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, dude. Aside from that transgender thing, and I don't really know if I want to do that now that you said you have some fucked up things to say.
No, I don't really have fucked up things
Because you're
to say
already
about
in
it,
a kind of in an irritated mood because of that.
No. I mean, they're not
Oh, I
fucked
do
up
have more.
things to say. It's just
Actually, I don't know why I completely overlooked these. It's because it's in green or in blue and not black. I must have been colorblind for a second or something. You know what I mean? Two different colors. These are the two I thought. Okay. Anyway, this is an interesting topic. Since last episode I stole a topic, I decided to take a topic that I saw on a podcast, and well, basically a topic I saw on a podcast inspired me to have another topic. But to get straight to the point, what are shows people always recommend to you, but you never watch? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I mean, how many type of people like talk about a show and it's like, you should really watch it, I think you'd love it, but you never watch it?
I've heard Mad Men. People have told me I should watch that.
Yeah, I've never-
that I would really like it.
I've watched the
I-
first episode and I liked it, but I didn't get into
I
it.
couldn't even tell you what it's about because I've never I want to, but I haven't yet. But you kept telling me, is it called Black Window?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror?
Close.
It was close. You told me I should watch that because you said it's
like
shit that I'm into.
The Twilight Zone, but like rated R and like more futuristic.
So there's that one. Oh gosh, there's a whole bunch.
Yeah, Black Mirror was one of those ones for me, but recently I did watch it and I loved it. Couldn't stop. Can't wait for another season.
The Doctor Who. I've had several people tell me I should watch that Doctor Who, and I tried watching it from the beginning, and I think that was my mistake because I started watching like the original.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking stupid. I just couldn't get into it. And then several people
The
told me,
original, like, the
several
black and
people
white
told
shit?
me, yeah, several people
Wow.
told me go to, or no, not the black and white.
Okay.
I guess it's the newer because it's but
2005.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's where everybody says you should. A good point to start is 2005 because everything before that kind of doesn't really
Sucked.
correlate.
Yeah.
But
Everyone told me start in later seasons.
and that's what I did because I did start watching it. But like it was so British and like weirdly low budget. Like it had that soap opera-y like 90s Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of feel.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? Like it almost looked like a play.
Yeah.
in certain parts. Like that's I couldn't get into it, but like I bet if I start, like if they rebooted it and put a decent budget on it, I probably really like it.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get into it. So yeah, that's a good example as Doctor Who. But people would probably hate a reboot at this point, and I guess.
Well, people are like really into that show now.
Yeah, and what I understand of it is it's the same guy every time it changes actors.
Mm-hmm.
He's not human. He's like a
shapeshifter,
a weird alternate being. I don't know, like he's not a human, but he could change his form all the time. And they're saying now they're going to recast him as a woman because he can be a woman technically if he wanted to be. When he reforms himself, I don't know if he dies or something because I don't watch the show and then he comes back somehow, but. Because that'd be kind of grim every time an actor changes roles. You got to watch the Doctor die. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's a good example. Anything else? I mean, there's probably a million, but you never watch them, so you can't remember. It's kind of a weird, backwards, dead air topic. You know what I mean? You gotta think.
Now there's been shows that people have recommended that I had never seen and then watched and then just fell in love with and then realized that it was like the last season of it.
Yeah.
So I binged watched all of it to find out that I actually watched the very last season, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
What show is this? Did you say?
That's what I did with The Sopranos.
Oh.
Back when it was literally the last season was on HBO.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, you got to watch The Sopranos. It's the greatest show on television, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right. So I sat down and binge watched every season, start to finish, until I started watching the final season. I started watching the final season while it was airing.
Yeah.
To find out that that was going to be the final season. And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Because I was so into it at that point that when I found out it was the final season,
yeah, you came in way late to the party.
I was like, "Come on!"
Way late to the party.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I see. I've
pissed me off.
never actually seen Sopranos all the way through. I've seen random episodes in between, but only like the last maybe like season or two because I was around when you were watching it, and I would catch like a lot of it. And I saw the last episode with you. I remember.
It was.
And how irritating was that last episode?
Oh my god. I wanted to murder somebody.
Yeah. Well, that's probably because someone got murdered.
Well, you don't know.
Chances are. There's plenty of shows. Like you've recommended The Path to me, and I've never watched it. And like all these shows that we're talking about, probably like we have nothing against them. It's just like we never did it.
Right.
For some reason.
Well,
but we always get told about it. You know what I mean?
And The Path was really good. Is really good. I kind of stopped watching it, so I'm not even on that anymore, I guess, because I stopped watching it at one point, just not because I wanted to, I didn't want to watch it anymore, just because the time that I had available to sit and watch it was right after the first season, so I binge watched the first season and then started watching it after that.
Yeah.
And I literally didn't have time to sit down and watch it, so I haven't actually seen it since right after the first season.
Gotcha.
But I loved the first season.
But yeah, that's one of them. Like Bates Motel. There's a guy at work, Nick Hannicrat. You actually know about him. Always says I should watch it, and I never have.
It's
I'm not really a horror guy, but and like all kinds of Fargo. I don't know why I don't watch Fargo because I love the fucking movie.
That was.
Everybody, like so many people, even recently, have been like, "Dude, you should watch Fargo. It's good." And I don't watch it.
What,
I don't know why. I can. I totally can. I don't start it. And a lot of shows I don't start watching until I know it's been renewed for like a second season because I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to get into it, and they're going to cancel it.
Right.
But some of them, I'm just like, that show sounds awesome. Like right now, American Gods is on, and so many people. I already knew about American Gods, but so many people have been like, have you checked out American Gods? Because there's only one episode out right now at this point when we're doing the podcast. And I'm like, no. I mean, I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure it's gonna get renewed because I think it's on HBO or Stars or something like that, and it looks really fucking good. And it's like it's based on a popular like graphic novel or comic. I've never read it, but
I've never
it seems
heard
awesome. Maybe we'll watch the trailer after this, but it's I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna get renewed, and I wanna check it out.
There was another show.
I'm worried people are getting petered out on superhero entertainment, so maybe it's like, well, because they kind of have like powers and stuff, you know. I guess they do.
All right.
But what else?
You mentioned Fargo. And,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It reminded me of you had recommended to me Shameless. And I still haven't really sat. I sat down and watched, I think, the first episode, and I remember I watched another episode here with you, but I haven't watched it since.
Yeah, Shameless. I like Shameless a lot. It's different than a lot of shows on TV. It's kind of like I don't know if you've ever watched Always Sunny, but it's kind of like Always Sunny, but since it's on one of those HBO type channels, it's either like Stars. I think it's Star. It might be Showtime, I think. I'm probably totally wrong, but where it's exactly what the name is. These people are kind of shameless. They're not the greatest people in the world. They live in Chicago. They're kind of like they live in like I don't know. It's hard. You've watched what it is, so you kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's really nothing out there. But like it's kind of like a dirtier, raunchier, R-rated version of Always Sunny in a way, but Always Sunny is a lot darker. Like these people are a lot darker of people. Like Dennis is almost like a weird psychopathic rape. Like he's kind of creepy in a lot of ways, and he's very conceited and shit. All these people are kind of terrible people. Like the best person out of the main people on Always Sunny, probably the most good-hearted, good-ish person is Charlie Day's character of Charlie, who's just kind of like innocently terrible. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
In a way. Like, I don't know, anybody knows the show can probably understand what I'm saying, but they're a lot darker toned. Shameless is just kind of more like we're loose and we do drugs and we're, you know what I mean? It's kind of more
I know what you mean.
Believable. Anyway, but I just think that's a funny thing in life in general. That's what gave me why I wanted to do that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that it's such a thing in pop culture and just our culture, American culture really, in general, that TV shows and entertainment and shit, that you get recommended so many and you probably don't watch 60% of them.
Right. Well, and a lot of shows, again, are good for some people, and then other people, it's just not their cup of tea, you know.
And a lot of people like don't really know you all that well, so why they would think you would like that in the first place. But I guess if you're getting recommended a lot, I guess a lot of people really don't know you that well. Which I guess leads me into another topic, which is actually the topic I was inspired to create the last topic. You know what I mean? So I stole this one too. Sorry if people think that's shady, but I think it's interesting. But what are some classic movies you've never seen? You know what I mean? Like if you said I've never seen this movie, most people are like, really? They'd be shocked. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh!
This is another one of those. Like it's another weird question because like how are you gonna think of a movie you've never seen?
Right.
But I remember back in high school, and I still have never seen this movie, so I don't know if it's really a classic movie. But my buddy Greg Tice was always shocked that I never saw Con Air with Nicolas Cage and I think Chris Rock.
That actually was a really good movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right, then maybe it is shocking. I've never seen Con Air.
I don't find it that shocking, but that you haven't seen it. But it was a very good movie, and that coming from a person that doesn't really like Nicolas Cage as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Nicolas Cage, but to me, all of his movies are played in the same character. You know what I mean?
Kinda, yeah.
So
for sure.
I'm not a big fan of Nicolas Cage at all.
I just see Nicolas Cage when he's in movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I feel. Like, you can watch certain actors and you get lost in their acting where you believe that they're this person. Nicolas Cage,
You forget
that
it's a movie.
Yeah, with Nicolas Cage, I feel like it's just Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. So, you can't think of any movies you've never seen that are classic movies? Like, I know back in the day, our cousin Justin was shocked that I never saw Shawshank Redemption. So he actually downloaded it and I watched it. And it's a great movie. I love Shawshank Redemption.
That surprised
That
me.
was probably like 2011.
Yeah, that's
2010.
surprising. Now I'm looking at your vast movie collection to see what's in there that I've never seen.
Let's see. I've never seen Gone with the Wind.
I've seen Gone with the Wind only because that was Mom's favorite movie.
I know that's Mom's favorite
when I was
movie.
really little.
Yeah.
So I've seen that a bunch of times.
Never seen The Sound of Music. I've never seen.
Oh, there you go. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've never seen Sound of Music.
I've never seen Doctor Strange, but that's not really a classic. I still have yet to see. I'm sure I will, but I've never seen.
There you go. I've never seen Total Recall all the way through.
Really? I like the original a lot. Actually, it still holds up, kind of. I mean, a three-titted woman's always going to hold up in my book.
Would you be surprised to know that I have not seen Harry Potter, except for the very first one?
Really?
Yeah.
That's not too surprising because maybe you didn't like Harry Potter.
I didn't.
All right.
I didn't find it that
honestly, the first couple are kind of kids' movies because they're really young, but after that, in my opinion, the more they came out, the better they got. Because they got darker, they got older. You were getting closer to the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got like the first couple were kind of you're just getting to know and feel out all these characters and shit and all these cool like adventures. But after that, it really progressed and it's cool because it was all the same people the whole time except for Dumbledore, because the guy died and they had to switch to another guy. But wow, somebody's bumping by.
Right.
Gangsta. But maybe it's Greg. But yeah, they got better as time went on. But that's weird because Harry Potter is a really good friend. I think if you gave it a shot, once you got to like the fourth movie, you'd be like, okay, I'm really starting to like this. You might even like the second one. You know what I mean? But let's see. I've never seen Blade Runner all the way through.
I've never seen Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, I think, because I haven't attempted to watch it again for quite a few years, but I think at the time I just wasn't there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that probably shocked some people.
Blade Runner. Is that...
Harrison Ford, futuristic. Everybody said it was kind of ahead of its time.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking Blade. Well, no, I've never seen Blade Runner.
I've never...
Wasn't there another one called Blade? But
Yeah.
that was Wesley Snipes, I
And
think.
he's a vampire. He's part half vampire.
I can't stand Wesley Snipes.
I've seen the first two. I don't think I've seen the third one, if they even made a third one. I think they did. No, the third one had Ryan Reynolds. I did see it, but I couldn't tell you shit about him, other than Norman Reedus was in the second one.
Oh, we'll see. That's
And
the
he
reason
was
for
like
me to watch it.
a main supporting character. Like, he's all throughout it. Actually, there's a twist with him at the end.
Huh.
But, I remember liking the Blade movies at the time.
I've never seen any of the Kill Bill movies.
Oh, those are great. Both of those. They're actually... there's been talk of a third one, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. He's too busy making westerns. But,
what else have I never seen?
I'm all looking around like I'm going to find something
know,
on
I'm
my
doing
wall
the same-
that I've
exact
never
same
seen,
thing.
but yet I have it on my wall. Yeah, right.
I'm doing the exact same thing.
But, no, that makes sense.
Me?
Yeah, because this isn't your stuff.
Right. Oh.
But for
okay.
me, looking around, trying to get inspiration, that wouldn't do it.
I've never seen the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh, that's a good one. But that's not surprising because it's recent and...
Oh, yeah, we were talking about classic movies.
It's a classic. It's going to be a classic in the future. You know what I mean?
Right.
In my opinion. Maybe this is where this topic dies.
Maybe.
Or maybe we just go with that and I cut it all together. Or maybe I've just seen a lot of movies.
That could be also.
Actually, I know what I could do.
Okay.
I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to look up a classic movies list.
I have a computer right here.
Yeah, look up a list of classic movies for sure. That'll help us. I've never seen Casablanca. I've tried to watch Citizen Kane, but it was kind of the same deal with Blade Runner. Like, I don't think I was quite ready for it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I've never seen Citizen
Because Citizen Kane, that's old. That's 1941, dude.
Gone with the Wind, Singing in the Rain, Casablanca, It's a Wonderful Life, Wizard of Oz. I've seen all those.
All right, let's scooch up a little bit, because a lot of these movies, most people wouldn't even know. There's a lot of Marilyn Monroe movies I've never seen. I've never seen Ben-Hur. Not even the new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I heard the new one wasn't very good, though.
I don't even know what
I've
this
never
is.
seen Lawrence of Arabia, but I have seen Lawrence of Arabia. Not really.
Nice.
That's actually... Lawrence of Arabia was a fake movie. Well, it might have been real, but it was a title, and Zack and Miri make a porno.
Have you ever seen The Godfather
I
movies?
have. I've seen all three of them.
Okay.
First two were great. Third one probably could have. They probably could have done without it. But I mean, it was watchable. Have you ever seen 12 Angry Men? Like a court drama. Well,
I don't.
The whole movie takes place. They're a jury of 12 men, and they're all debating. The whole movie is them debating over the verdict. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie.
I don't believe that I've ever seen that.
I have only seen the first Jaws movie. I've never seen any after that.
There it is right there.
I'm a huge Terry Gilliam fan. I don't know if you know who that is, the director. Made Fear and Loathing. He did a lot of like stuff with Monty Python's. He was like part of the Monty Python's crew. And
Okay.
I've never seen Brazil, which is like one of his most famous movies. Very futuristic. I've never seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Really?
Nope.
I actually saw that for the first time. Well, I don't know exactly when. I will say it's been within the last 5 years.
Have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Yes.
Love that movie.
Yes.
Love that movie.
A lot of these I've never even heard of.
I've never seen Sling Blade.
Never seen Sling Blade. Yeah, some of these I don't even recognize. The Adventures of Robin Hood. I don't think I've seen that one, but
Again,
I've seen.
You're looking at movies from the fucking 30s. Go to some more recent movies, man. Like at least within like the last 30 years.
Well, you're asking. These are classic. You ask for classic movies.
I'm talking about classic movies to our people, our generations. Like all you got to do is go forward in time. Like I'm sure these classic.
We
movies...
just made it to the end. We were at the end.
Okay, go to IMDb's top 100.
Okay.
Top 250, do that. No, it's right there. IMDb top 250. See what I mean? Like these are the highest rated movies on IMDb. So it's going to be from all different eras. This is probably the true list of classic movies, you know what I mean? Because this is probably the most highly used movie website out there. But
haven't seen that one.
No. Let's see. I've never seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Well, that's from 1966, though.
Yeah, I know, but I've seen movies from 1966.
I loved Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas, definitely a classic. City of God's a really good movie. It's all in subtitles, though. I've never seen Life is Beautiful. I know a lot of people love that movie.
I don't even know what it is.
Ooh, Leon the Professional. That's a good-ass movie. You've never seen Spirited Away, but that's not uncommon because it's an anime, but that is a great movie.
Yeah, I'm not really into anime. I never have been. I know a lot of people that are really into it, though.
That movie is so good, though.
American History X. Fucking awesome movie.
That's a good one.
I loved that movie.
Never seen The Pianist?
I have. It was terrible. That movie sucked so bad. I said that like I had something else to say about it, but I didn't.
Yeah. I've never seen Memento. I've tried, but it was really confusing. And I know it's one of those movies you have to watch all the way to the beginning to understand or all the way to the end to understand because it's backwards. But like, I was really young when I attempted to watch it because Randy Hoover actually recommended it to me, and that was a long time ago when he recommended it.
Never seen Wall-E.
Wall-E's awesome. I love Wall-E. That movie's underrated, I think. Obviously not if it's on the top 250, but... You ever seen Old Boy?
No.
It's a Japanese movie, but they remade it. I think it's Japanese. With fuck, why can't I think of his name? He played the older brother on The Goonies. He was in No Country for Old Men. Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
They remade it with him and the Olsen sister that's not the Olsen twins. Elizabeth Olsen, I think is her name.
I didn't even know there was another one.
Yeah, you know her. You've seen her and stuff for sure.
I have not seen Requiem of a Dream.
Ooh, Requiem for a Dream is a great movie.
I have not seen Clockwork Orange. I kind of want to see Lawrence of Arabia now.
Ooh, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is great.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I
have not seen... No, never mind. I have seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I watched that in school. Wow. I have seen a lot of these movies. I'm surprised at how many of these I've actually seen. I have not seen The Apartment. I have not seen La La Land, and I really don't have a desire to see it.
I might watch it one day, but I'm not going to try real hard, you know?
Mm-hmm. I have not seen Yojimbo.
All right, well, I guess there's a lot of movies we haven't seen, but this actually led us to consider that we've seen a lot of movies that we...
Yeah, like I said, I'm actually surprised at how many of these I have seen.
I guess that's not too many. Shit. Well, all right.
I have not seen Blade Runner. That's kind of a cool picture. Oops. So there you go. Oh, Casino. That was awesome. You want to watch a good movie? And Dad recommended it to us when he was here. It's called Hacksaw Ridge. It's actually a really great movie.
No, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point. A lot of people say it's good.
Yeah, that really was a great movie. Dad literally found it and put it on because we have the unlocked Fire Stick, and he found it on there and put it on and kind of made us watch it.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a really, really good movie.
No, I heard it's good.
Anyway,
Well, that's all I got, man. So, there you have it.
You good?
Do you have anything? Because
No.
I've already ran out of all my topics. I'm pretty sure I asked you to bring at least one fucking thing to the table.
Well, and I would, but everything I think of to talk about, you shut it down.
What do you mean?
Well, the stuff I like to talk about.
What did you try to talk about right now that I shut down?
No, not today. Not today.
Well, okay, then give me an example. Because from what I remember,
Mandela
you
effect,
rarely
aliens, time travel, space.
because that's all we've
Ghosts,
talked about it 100,000
supernatural.
times.
When was the last time we talked about it?
We talked about the Mandela effect like 2 or 3 episodes. No, probably like 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we haven't talked about it recently because
And what did we talk about during that episode also? Probably movies, probably wrestling,
yeah,
probably
exactly.
music.
But how many times can you talk about the Mandela effect, Jared?
How many times can we talk about movies, music, wrestling?
A lot, because that shit happens. New shit like that comes out every fucking day. The Mandela effect, that shit happens like over time, yeah, a lot. But like there's multiple different topics involved with movies and television and all that stuff like that. Mandela effect is one topic.
Okay, but I'm also talking about
Aliens
space,
is one topic. Space
universe,
is one
time travel.
topic.
But there's new shit that comes out all the time.
Okay. And it can be brought up often. But like, let's conglomerate these things into one show, multiple shows over a span of one time. Not every single. I mean, this show is about all different kinds of things. But like, I bring up all kinds of different things. You bring up these things every single time. Like, not everything I wrote down is movies and shit. You know what I mean? Some of it is memories. And today I even brought up the Mandela effect when it came to mom and shit like that. Like, what I'm saying is you bring like the same 4 or 5 topics.
Okay, real quick. When you're watching this back, remember you just said you brought up Mandela effect because not too long ago you said that I brought it up. And I said, no, you brought it up.
You did bring it up. But you brought it up after I brought up mom and everything like that. That was like, these are all pre-existing conversations we have, so you know how that all came about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You brought up the Mandela effect with mom in the text messages earlier, right?
And
then I started talking about mom on the podcast, right? Then you said something about the Mandela effect in the middle of that conversation. And I said, that's cool because that's going to lead into something I want to talk about later that involves what we're talking about now.
Right.
Which means I had preconceived talking about the Mandela effect after talking about mom.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, the original subject matter here was the fact that I have a whole fucking list of topics. You didn't write down anything. I gave you a book a few weeks back to write down things so you could remember these things because you're like, well, I don't ever remember. I mean, I watch the videos. I hear everything you say, man. So
no,
I mean,
I know, and I watch them
the
too.
Conversations we have than you are, if you really think about it.
And I watch them also.
But like,
I know the things that, and I know the look on my face when I get ready to go. Nope, not gonna bring it up. Oh
no, you can
not gonna bring it up.
You can bring things up, but they can't just waylay the whole like thing. Like, it can't just be that for 40 minutes because you only have so much time, and we can't do a 3-hour podcast or a 2-hour podcast or something. You know what I mean? Like, things. All I have to show you, dude, is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things written down on a book right here that are of all different topics. Mm-hmm. And you don't have one thing. And when you do bring one thing to the table, it's in the middle of another one, and it completely waylays everything that was already set in motion. But like this is a there's a way of doing things when it comes to production. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to listen to a clusterfuck Because when we're talking about one thing that perks somebody's interest, they're going to listen to it. When it gets waylaid by something that's kind of related but gets completely taken off topic, it kind of fucks everything up.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. I forget how we even got on this, but I'm sure I'll remember when I watch the video. But you're already packing up to leave, so you're pissed and you want to go, I assume.
Yeah, I am a little bit irritated.
All right. That's cool. So did anything I say make sense or you agree with? Like, do you see where I'm coming from at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so why are you irritated?
Because when I tell you what I'm thinking, you don't listen to it at all. You just speak over me and continue.
Go ahead, because you just kept saying the same thing over and over again, so I felt I needed to re-explain everything in detail.
You said that I don't bring anything to the table, which you're right. I don't bring topics to the table anymore because every time I try to, you say, I don't want to talk about that because we talk about it all the time. And we haven't.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, okay. Then, I guess my argument to that is go through our uploads on YouTube and see how many times we talk about those things. And then if you notice like gaps there, that's where I was telling you, like, dude, we talk about this all the time. But I don't have a problem talking about those things. I don't. I like those things. It's just you bring them up, and
well, but see, that's another thing.
But
that's when we started this, it was to talk about things that we're interested in.
No, for sure,
and,
for sure.
And I'm trying to bring up things that I'm interested in because there are things that I'd like to talk about too. And if I see a video, just like when you see a video and you want to bring something up to talk about,
yep.
You bring something up to talk about. When I bring up something that I saw that I want to talk about, it gets shut down.
It really doesn't, especially if it. Okay.
Because I have come here with topics before.
You have come here with topics. You're absolutely right.
And I've brought them up to you, and you have told me.
You've come here with topics. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I come here with topics, and I tell you what I'd like to talk about, or sometimes I tell you before I get here, and you say, "Dude, we talk about that all the time," but we don't. And that's why I don't come with topics anymore, because I figure, all right, I will come and I will do this because I enjoy doing this.
Okay.
And I will just be the second voice behind what you want to talk about.
Okay. Now, part of that is true, in my opinion. Part of it is not. Because there's been, every single time you come over, I say, do you have anything you want to talk about? And you go, no, I don't. Not really. I mean, I don't really.
That's because I'm not allowed to talk about the things I want to talk about.
No. Because when you bring, and the thing that you're right about is you do bring things up to me beforehand, and and I do shut them down sometimes. I do, because they are the same thing every single time. They are the same, like 3 or 4 things every single time, and I understand that new things happen with them all the time. I understand. But, like, I ask you at the beginning of the show, is there anything you want to talk about? Mm-hmm. And you say, no, I mean, I can't. There's nothing. I'm like, okay, well, I wrote some things down. And then I go through these things, and then one random word or one random thing I say, when talking about these other topics, makes you think of something mm-hmm. that you want to talk about, and then it completely fucking just... like a bulldozer comes through and slams through everything we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, when you don't write things down, you don't remember these topics you want to talk about. And then I ask you at the beginning of the show, is there anything you want to talk about? You say no. I gave you a book. I was like, here, man, I think this will help with you remembering things you want to talk about, because you always bring up the same things, and I know we have our frustrations and shit. I explained all of that to you when I gave you this book, man. There's a way of doing these things that makes them more watchable, more successful, and I am busting my ass to do so, spending my hard-earned money to do so. And all I'm asking you to do is come to the table with a little bit of a plan here.
How about I don't come to the table at all anymore?
How about you just listen to where I'm coming from a little
How
bit?
about you listen to where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to say too? Because this was supposed to be something that we were going to do together, and this is something that we were going to bring each other's interest to talk about the things that we're interested in, and you don't want to do that. You want to talk about what you want to talk about, and that's the only thing I'm allowed to talk about.
That's not true, Jared. That is simply not true, man.
Okay.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. I want us to talk about
Poops.
both things we want to talk about.
No, you're not.
That's what I'm saying here.
That's what I'm saying, and you're saying no. And
I'm saying just,
when you watch this back,
do it with a process.
when you watch this back, you'll see that you already said, yeah, I come with topics.
That's the
and
thing,
you shut
Jared.
them down.
I'm gonna watch it back, and you're not. So you're not gonna see anything of what happened.
I watch all of them.
You're not gonna watch this.
Why? You're not gonna put it on?
This, of course not.
All right.
You want me to put this out there?
You do whatever you want, dude. It's your podcast.
All right. Then everyone will see what just happened here.
All right, and everybody comment and tell me how often I talk about the topics I want to talk about.
A whole list of effort here. A whole list of effort there, dude. All I ask is for you to have somewhat of a plan.
Right.
And you don't.
And like I said, when I do, I shut it down. You don't want to talk about the shit that I like to talk about.
You don't have anything to talk about. You don't bring anything to talk about until the middle of a fucking topic. That's what happens. That's what happens. Right?